So yeah, lawn care season is somewhat coming to an end. Leaf removals are here. Well, they're not here, but they're coming very soon, quicker than you think. Summer is slipping away. No. But yeah, it's just kind of interesting, going through the experience. It's like, you've got lawn care, landscaping, and leaf removals. It's actually pretty interesting because leaf removals is like a whole different industry of its own, like lawn care and landscaping are. Because it's not only lawn care guys who do leaf removals, landscape guys hop in and take leaf removals too. So it is interesting because it's just, like I said, it's like a whole different market, industry thing of its own. And just how leaf removals used to go for us in the past, they used to go horribly. Terribly. Leaf removals used to be the worst thing ever. And why was it the worst thing ever? Guess. Never made any money ever on leaf removals. Didn't know what in the heck we were doing. Like at all. I'm not gonna say that we know what we're doing now, but no clue, guys. No clue. Just let me give you an example here. It was 2 years ago. This is 2019 year. Yeah, it was 2 years ago in the spring. So year of 2017, one of the first years we really got serious about, the lawn care business. And when I say that, I mean, like, I wasn't just the kid pushing the lawnmower up and down the street anymore. So anyways, yeah, leaf removals. It used to be terrible because we just did not make money, lost money. I remember it was early spring, and the snow cleared out pretty quickly in like March, and we got a call from someone. We're in Wyoming, in case you guys didn't know, but we got a call from someone, and they wanted their leaves picked up and pushed off into like, that was out in Rockford, guys, so it was like 15, 20 miles away, and we got the job. We quoted the job and committed to a price before we even looked at the property. And I'll tell you how much we quoted it for was $45. We quoted this lady's leaf removal for $45. And like I said, I didn't look at the lawn. I planned on hauling the leaves away, but I'm extremely lucky that we were just able, because like I said, it was out in Rockford. Don't know if you guys are too familiar with that area, but there's a lot of houses out there that are kind of surrounded by woods, and we were able to just push them off into the woods and off of the lawn. But we drove 15, 20 miles from where we're centered at to clear off, two of us, me and one other guy, to clear off this lady's leaves of her yard. And it took us 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. All right, hold on. I'm hungry.
Here's your sandwich on Prime. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to pull over so I can finish this thought because I don't want to lose it. Because I think it's a really good story and I want you guys to hear it because it was one heck of an experience. So anyways, where was I at? We're centered in Wyoming. I just saw a dog over there running by itself, but there's people by him. Okay. Anyways. We're centered in Wyoming. This was 2 years ago. we got a call from someone in Rockford, and they wanted their leaves removed, and we just were like, okay, $45. Sounds good. We're showing up. Alright? And we show up, me and one other guy, and we spend 3.5 hours, and that's on the job site. That's not including the drive there and the drive back, which was 15-30 minutes itself. We did that for $45. And I remember thinking to myself, how in the heck do people do this for a living? I'm like, because I just didn't get it, because it was, I'm sitting here looking at, how much do people want to pay for a mow? Back then I was only thinking $20-$25, maybe $30 if the lawn's huge. And it's like, how much are these people going to want to pay for just having their yard cleared off with leaves? I was so scared to say like anything more than $50. I thought I was a madman. I thought I was crazy. So that was one terrible experience we had with leaves, and it was horrible. Like I said, 3.5 hours on the job site for $45. That is just so insane. Like, I can't believe that. It's just wow. Didn't know what we were doing. And I just thought it was interesting because it was a whole, do we have it figured out now? Not necessarily, but I can guarantee you we don't charge $45 for a leaf removal anymore. I can promise you that. But it was just so crazy. I remember sitting there on the drive home with my guy, like, how do people do this for a living? I was like, oh my God. I'm like, people don't want to pay any more than, $50 for a leaf removal or anything like that. I'm like, how do people do this? How do people afford this stuff? I'm like, how do you eat? I'm like, oh my God, what happened? So, leaf removals, they're a whole different experience in and of their own. It's a whole different beast to tame. Because let me share this story now with you guys, just while I'm here and on a roll with it. For instance, 2 years ago in the spring, 3.5 hour job, 2 guys, all the way out in Rockford, 15-20 miles one way. And we charged them $45. Clearly, obviously, you guys can do math. Lost money. Duh. Just to let you know how we don't have it figured out, is this spring, 2019 spring cleanups, we had a leaf removal, and again, I had that fear in me. I had that fear of people don't want to pay this much, or I'm crazy, I don't know what I'm doing, just the constant beat yourself up, you're not worthy type attitude. And I also kind of made this mistake too, was I didn't fully check out the entire property. I didn't quite do a full walk around this person's backyard and whatnot, and they had ground cover with leaves in it, and he wanted a quote he wanted 3 separate levels of detail, one for just the leaves on the lawn, one for just the leaves on the lawn plus the leaves that are off to the side in the plants, landscape beds, and ground cover, and then he wanted one where everything on the yard kind of gets swept up, including large branches and sticks and other debris that you find on the yard. So there was 3 different things, and when I got there, this was one of the biggest leaf jobs we've ever done. And again, I had that fear inside me, just like I did 2 years ago at the same time. And the quote we gave them to clean the whole property, everything, sticks, leaves, everything. The quote we gave him was $500, guys, $500 to pick up his leaves. And did I talk myself down? Oh yeah, I talked myself down. Yes, I talked myself down from a number up here down to $500. Okay, because people don't want to pay that much. I understand now, in some sense, that leaves, it's what they're worth. How long does it take? How many leaves are there? Where's the dump? How many times do you have to go to the dump? How many guys do you got there? Blah, 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 all that nonsense. How much detail is the customer looking for? But anyways, I came up with that estimate, and that's the biggest estimate I've ever given for leaf removal was $500. It's the biggest estimate I've ever given for leaf removal. It's almost the biggest estimate I've ever given. There was one job for a mulch installation where it was like 9 yards of mulch. That was the biggest estimate I've ever given. We never did it, I guess because, I guess the guy didn't end up wanting it done. But anyways, let me get back before I get sidetracked. We sent this dude an estimate for $500 earlier this spring, guys, to pick up his leaves and clear off his entire property. Guess what? Lost money. My labor expense was more than $500. I think I remembered. It was like $512 on the job. Labor. Over $500 in labor for that job. Wow. What an experience. Crazy. So it was $515 just for labor. That doesn't include the gas in the vehicle, the gas in the equipment, the depreciation on the equipment, the materials that you had to use there, overhead, everything. Just labor was over $500 alone on that job. So what does that mean? Well, clearly it was a way more expensive job that we should have quoted him. And that was just earlier this spring. And I remember accepting when that client called me and accepted that estimate. I was shocked, kind of, almost. And then I was just excited because I was sitting there just looking at the budget for that job, and it's just $500. And it's like, yeah, of course you're going to make money on that job, right? Not so fast. Not so fast. Is that, like I said, there's a whole learning curve to the whole new industry of leaf removals. And like I said, it's a whole separate industry of itself. It's not, it is lawn care, but it's different than lawn care, and it's different than landscaping. It's a whole industry of itself. And it's just interesting how, I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys. It's just interesting. Like I said, we still don't have it fully figured out. Do I think we have it a little bit figured out better than we did 2 years ago? Yeah. $400 or $45 for 3.5 hours of labor, 2 guys. Obviously, we know a little bit better than that now. But with the story I just told you about what happened earlier this spring, we still don't have it figured out. We still don't have it figured out. We are still learning. We're still doing this, and you take everything, bring it in, absorb it, process it, stir it up, think about it, all that. So leaf removals are fun. Everything's fun. Everything about this is fun. Everything is just great. It's a great time. But, so yeah, I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys because the leaf removal season is coming. I wanted to let you know a little bit about our past experiences with it. And just kind of how it goes, we don't have it figured out. We're right there with you guys if you don't. Always constantly learning, always constantly doing this and that, trying to at least. But just interesting stuff, Just kind of wanted to share that rant with you guys. My lunch is getting cold and I'm supposed to give a quote, and let me get to that. Have a good one, guys. Fall's coming.